million. That's what someone paid for a single car. Not a collection, not a garage full of supercars, one vehicle. And here's the crazy part. They can't even drive it on public roads. Welcome to the insane world of one-off hypercars, where money is no object and exclusivity is everything. I've spent weeks researching the most expensive, custom-built cars ever created, and what I've found will blow your mind. If you're ready to see some automotive madness that'll make your jaw drop, smash that like button, and let's dive into the most exclusive cars on the planet. Before we jump into this list, let me set the stage for you. We're not talking about cars you can walk into a dealership and buy. These are bespoke, handcrafted masterpieces, each one representing hundreds of thousands of hours of engineering, design, and craftsmanship. When you're dealing with this level of money, you're not just buying transportation, you're buying a piece of automotive history. The wealthy don't just want fast cars anymore. They want cars that nobody else can have. And the manufacturers? They're more than happy to oblige, creating these rolling works of art for clients who view money the way most of us view pocket change. So buckle up, because we're about to tour the most exclusive automotive collection that'll never exist in one place. Number 10. Lamborghini Authentica. Price undisclosed. Well above $500,000. Starting our list is a car so exclusive that Lamborghini won't even tell us what it costs. The Authentica isn't just rare, it's a complete one-off that pushes the boundaries of what we expect from the raging bull. Now, you might be thinking, wait, Lamborghini makes limited editions all the time. But here's what makes the Authentica different. This isn't a limited production run of 50 or even 10 cars. This is literally one car, built for one customer with specifications that will never be repeated. Lamborghini's design team went completely off the rails with this one. We're talking about a car that takes everything you know about Lamborghini design language and cranks it up to 11. The aerodynamics alone required months of wind tunnel testing, creating downforce numbers that would make a Formula One car jealous. The interior? Forget everything you know about luxury car interiors. This is more like sitting inside a fighter jet that's been decorated by Italian fashion designers. Every surface, every control, every stitch was customized specifically for this one owner. But here's what really gets me about the Authentica. Lamborghini built it knowing they'd never make another penny from this design. All that research, all that development, all those custom parts, it's a one-time investment for one customer. That's the kind of money we're dealing with at this level. The performance numbers? Well, let's just say that if you thought the Aventador was fast, the Authentica would make it look like it's standing still. We're talking about power figures that most people would consider irresponsible, wrapped in a package that's more art than automobile. Number 9. Aston Martin Victor. Estimated $4 to $5 million. Coming in at number 9 is a car that proves British engineering can be just as insane as anything coming out of Italy or Germany. The Aston Martin Victor isn't just expensive. It's a love letter to Aston Martin's racing heritage, wrapped in carbon fiber and powered by pure adrenaline. Here's what makes the Victor special. Aston Martin took their most powerful engine ever created and stuffed it into a chassis that's more race car than road car. We're talking about a naturally aspirated V12 that produces over 800 horsepower, and in a car that weighs less than most modern sedans. But the real story of the Victor isn't just the performance numbers. It's the fact that Aston Martin's design team was given complete creative freedom. No safety regulations to worry about, no mass production constraints, no bean counters telling them to cut costs. The result is a car that looks like it drove straight out of a science fiction movie. The aerodynamics package on this thing is absolutely mental. We're talking about active aerodynamics that adjust based on speed, cornering forces, and even the driver's inputs. The downforce this car generates at high speed is enough to drive it upside down through a tunnel. Not that anyone's going to test that theory. Inside, the Victor is stripped down to the essentials. But those essentials are crafted from the finest materials money can buy. Carbon fiber, titanium, and leather that costs more per square foot than most people's monthly rent. Every component serves a purpose, and that purpose is going fast. The customer who commissioned the Victor didn't just buy a car. They bought Aston Martin's entire racing department for however long it took to build this masterpiece. That's the kind of exclusivity that money can't usually buy. But when you're talking about this level of wealth, the impossible becomes possible. Number 8. Lotec C1000, $2.2 to $3.6 million development cost. Number 8 takes us into the world of German engineering madness. The Lotec C1000 represents what happens when a small German tuning company decides to build the fastest car in the world, regardless of cost or practicality. Now, Lotec isn't a household name like Ferrari or Lamborghini. They're a small operation that specializes in taking already fast cars and making them absolutely insane. But with the C1000, they decided to start from scratch and build something that would make the big manufacturers take notice. The development cost alone, we're talking about nearly $4 million just to figure out how to build this thing. That's before they even started cutting metal or laying carbon fiber. For a small company, that's a bet the farm kind of investment, and they did it all for one car. The C1000's party trick is right there in the name, 1,000 horsepower. But this isn't 1,000 horsepower from some modern turbocharged engine with all the electronic aids. This is 1,000 horsepower from a naturally aspirated monster that sounds like the apocalypse when you put your foot down. The engineering challenges were immense. How do you put 1,000 horsepower to the ground without the car trying to kill you? How do you cool an engine that's producing that much heat? How do you build a transmission that won't explode under that kind of stress? Lotec had to solve all these problems from scratch. The result is a car that's more like a guided missile than a traditional automobile. The acceleration figures are classified as weapons grade, and the top speed is limited more by the driver's courage than by the car's capabilities. But here's what really makes the C1000 special. It represents the passion of a small group of engineers who refused to accept limitations. They didn't have the resources of a major manufacturer, but they had something more valuable: the freedom to build exactly what they wanted, without compromise. Number 7. Ferrari P45 by Pininfarina, approximately $4 million. At number 7, we have a car that represents the ultimate collaboration between Ferrari's engineering excellence and Pininfarina's design genius. The P45 isn't just a one-off Ferrari, it's a completely reimagined vision of what a Ferrari could be. The story behind this car is almost as incredible as the car itself. A Ferrari collector approached Pininfarina with a simple request: I want you to design me the most beautiful Ferrari ever created. The result was a car that took 3 years to develop and represents the absolute pinnacle of Italian automotive artistry. Pininfarina didn't just redesign a Ferrari, they completely reimagined it. Starting with a Ferrari Enzo chassis, they created bodywork that's both a tribute to Ferrari's racing heritage and a vision of the future. Every curve, every line, every surface was sculpted by hand to create perfect proportions. The engineering challenges were immense. How do you create completely new bodywork while maintaining the Enzo's performance characteristics? How do you ensure proper cooling and aerodynamics with a completely different shape? Pininfarina's engineers spent months in wind tunnels and computer simulations to get it right. But the P45 isn't just about looks, it's about performance too. The modifications actually improved on the Enzo's already incredible capabilities. We're talking about a car that's faster, more aerodynamically efficient, and more beautiful than the car it's based on. The interior received the same attention to detail as the exterior. every surface was redesigned and crafted from the finest materials. The result is a cabin that's both more luxurious and more focused than the original Enzo. What makes this car truly special is that it represents the last of an era. This level of customization, this attention to detail, this willingness to completely reimagine an already perfect car, it's something that's becoming increasingly rare in today's automotive world. The P45 proves that when money is no object and creativity is unlimited, the results can be absolutely breathtaking. Number 6. McLaren X1, price undisclosed. Coming in at number 6 is a car that proves McLaren's engineering prowess extends far beyond their Formula One success. The McLaren X1 is what happens when McLaren's Special Operations Division is given unlimited creative freedom and a blank check. Now, McLaren is known for building some of the most advanced supercars in the world, but the X1 takes that reputation and launches it into orbit. This isn't just a modified McLaren, it's a completely unique vehicle that shares only its basic architecture with anything else McLaren has ever built. The design process took over 2 years and involved some of the most advanced computer modeling and wind tunnel testing ever applied to a single vehicle. Every surface was optimized not just for aesthetics, but for aerodynamic performance. The result is a car that looks like it was designed by aliens who really understand physics. The performance figures are classified, but let's just say that if you thought the McLaren P1 was fast, the X1 would make it look pedestrian. We're talking about power-to-weight ratios that defy belief and acceleration figures that would make a fighter jet pilot nervous. But what really sets the X1 apart is the technology. McLaren packed this car with experimental systems that won't appear in production cars for years, if ever. Active aerodynamics that respond in milliseconds, suspension systems that can predict the road surface ahead, and engine management systems that learn and adapt to the driver's style. The interior is equally impressive. McLaren's designers created a cockpit that's more like a spaceship than a car. Every control, every display, every surface was designed specifically for this one vehicle. The result is an environment that's both incredibly advanced and surprisingly intuitive. The customer who commissioned the X1 didn't just buy a car, they bought a glimpse into the future of automotive technology. This is what cars might look like in 20 years, if we're lucky. Number 5. Rolls-Royce Arcadia Sweptail. Estimated $30 to $31 million. At number 5, we enter the realm of automotive royalty with the Rolls-Royce Arcadia Sweptail. When Rolls-Royce decides to build a one-off vehicle, they don't just create a car, they create a rolling piece of art that happens to have an engine. The Arcadia Sweptail represents everything that makes Rolls-Royce special, amplified to an almost ridiculous degree. We're talking about a car that took 4 years to develop and involved craftsmen from around the world. The attention to detail is so extreme that it borders on obsessive. Let's start with the exterior. The paint alone took 6 months to perfect. This isn't just any paint, it's a custom color that was developed specifically for this car, with metallic flakes that were individually selected and positioned by hand. The result is a finish that changes color depending on the light and viewing angle. The interior is where Rolls-Royce really shows off. We're talking about leather that comes from bulls raised on a specific farm in Scotland, wood that was aged for decades before being shaped by master craftsmen, and metalwork that would make a Swiss watchmaker jealous. But here's what really makes the Arcadia Sweptail special: the level of personalization. Every surface, every component, every detail was customized specifically for the owner. The dashboard features a custom clock that was built by one of Switzerland's most exclusive watchmakers. The seats are embroidered with a pattern that tells the story of the owner's family history. The engineering is equally impressive. Despite all the luxury and customization, this is still a Rolls-Royce. which means it drives like a cloud and is whisper quiet at any speed. The V12 engine produces enough power to move this massive car with surprising grace, while the suspension system ensures that passengers never feel anything more than the gentlest motion. The Arcadia Droptail isn't just expensive because of the materials or the craftsmanship. It's expensive because it represents thousands of hours of human artistry. In an age of mass production and automation, this car is a reminder of what's possible when human creativity is given unlimited resources. Number 4. Rolls-Royce Sweptail, $13 million. Number 4 takes us back to Rolls-Royce, but this time we're talking about a car that redefined what a custom automobile could be. The Sweptail isn't just a one-off Rolls-Royce, it's a completely reimagined vision of luxury transportation. The story behind the Sweptail reads like something out of a movie. A Rolls-Royce customer approached the company with a simple request: build me a car inspired by the luxury yachts of the 1920s and 1930s. What followed was a 4-year journey that resulted in one of the most beautiful cars ever created. Rolls-Royce didn't just modify an existing model, they started from scratch. The Sweptail features a completely unique body that was hand-formed using traditional coach building techniques. Every panel was shaped by craftsmen using methods that haven't changed in decades. The design is breathtaking. The Sweptail features the longest hood ever fitted to a Rolls-Royce, flowing into a cabin that's more like a luxury yacht than a car. The rear of the car features a swept tail design that gives the car its name and creates one of the most elegant profiles in automotive history. But the real magic happens inside. The interior of the Sweptail is a masterclass in luxury and attention to detail. The dashboard features a custom-built timepiece that took months to create. The seats are upholstered in leather that was specially treated to match the owner's specifications. Even the door handles were custom designed and handcrafted. The engineering challenges were immense. How do you create a completely new body while maintaining Rolls-Royce's legendary ride quality? How do you ensure that all the custom components will last for decades? Rolls-Royce's engineers spent months testing and refining every aspect of the car. The result is a vehicle that's more art than automobile. The Sweptail represents the absolute pinnacle of what's possible when the world's best craftsmen are given unlimited time and resources to create something truly special. Number 3. Rolls-Royce Boattail. Estimated $28 million. Taking the silver medal spot is another Rolls-Royce masterpiece that pushes the boundaries of what a car can be. The Boattail isn't just expensive, it's a rolling testament to human craftsmanship and engineering excellence. The Boattail gets its name from its unique rear design, which opens like a luxury yacht to reveal a custom-built entertaining suite. We're not talking about a simple trunk. This is a fully equipped outdoor dining area, complete with custom champagne coolers, a parasol, and seating for 4. The development process took 3 years and involved craftsmen from around the world. The bodywork alone required over 1,800 hours of hand-forming, using techniques that date back to the golden age of coach building. Every panel was shaped by master craftsmen using traditional English wheel and hammer techniques. But the Boattail isn't just about looks, it's about creating an experience. The rear deck features a custom-built champagne service that includes coolers designed to hold the owner's favorite vintage at the perfect temperature. The parasol is made from the same materials used in luxury yachts, and the seating is upholstered in leather that matches the car's interior. The interior continues the nautical theme with wood that was sourced from a single tree and aged for decades before being shaped into the dashboard and door panels. The seats feature a unique quilting pattern that was inspired by the owner's yacht, and the carpet was woven specifically for this car using techniques that take months to master. The engineering challenges were unlike anything Rolls-Royce had faced before. How do you create a car that can transform into an outdoor entertaining space while maintaining structural integrity? How do you ensure that all the mechanical components will function flawlessly after decades of use? The solutions required innovations that will likely influence Rolls-Royce designs for years to come. The Sweptail represents the ultimate expression of Rolls-Royce's philosophy, that a car should be more than transportation. It should be a reflection of the owner's lifestyle and personality. Number 2. Bugatti Chiron, Profil, $10.8 million. Coming in at number 2 is a car that represents the absolute pinnacle of Bugatti's engineering prowess. The Chiron Profil isn't just the most expensive Bugatti ever sold, it's the last of its kind, marking the end of an era for the legendary French manufacturer. The Profil was originally developed as a test bed for Bugatti's aerodynamic research, but when the company decided to end Chiron production, they realized they had something special on their hands. Rather than scrap the prototype, they decided to create the ultimate send-off for the Chiron line. What makes the Profil special isn't just its rarity, it's the fact that it represents everything Bugatti learned during the Chiron's production run, distilled into one perfect vehicle. The aerodynamics are more advanced than any production Bugatti, the engine tuning is more aggressive, and the attention to detail is absolutely obsessive. The exterior features unique bodywork that was developed specifically for this car. The aerodynamic package generates more downforce than a standard Chiron while actually reducing drag, a feat of engineering that took months to achieve. The result is a car that's both faster and more stable than anything Bugatti has ever built. The interior receives the same level of attention. Every surface is covered in the finest materials, with custom stitching patterns and unique design elements that will never be repeated. The seats are more supportive than a standard Chiron, designed for the kind of high-speed driving that this car was built for. But what really makes the Profil special is its performance. We're talking about a car that can accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 2.5 seconds, and reach a top speed that's limited more by tire technology than by engine power. The quad-turbocharged W16 engine produces over 1,500 horsepower, making it one of the most powerful cars ever built. The auction of the Profil was one of the most watched automotive events in recent history. When the hammer fell at $10.8 million, it set a new record for the most expensive new car ever sold at auction. But for the buyer, it wasn't just about the money, it was about owning a piece of automotive history. Number 1. Bugatti La Voiture Noire, $18.9 million. And here we are, one of the most expensive one-off cars ever created. The Bugatti La Voiture Noire isn't just a car, it's automotive poetry written in carbon fiber and powered by pure engineering excellence. The La Voiture Noire was created to celebrate Bugatti's 110th anniversary, but it became something much more significant. This car represents the absolute pinnacle of what's possible when the world's best engineers and designers are given unlimited resources and complete creative freedom. The design is breathtaking. The La Voiture Noire features bodywork that flows like liquid metal, with curves that seem to defy physics. Every line, every surface, every detail was sculpted to create perfect proportions. The result is a car that looks fast, even when it's standing still. But the La Voiture Noire isn't just about looks. It's about performance that borders on the supernatural. The quad-turbocharged W16 engine produces 1,500 horsepower, enough to accelerate this massive car from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 2.4 seconds. The top speed is electronically limited to 261 miles per hour, but the car is capable of much more. The engineering challenges were immense. How do you create bodywork that's both beautiful and aerodynamically efficient? How do you cool an engine that produces this much power? How do you ensure that the car remains controllable at speeds that would terrify most professional drivers? Bugatti's engineers spent years solving these problems. The interior is equally impressive. Every surface is covered in the finest materials, with custom stitching and unique design elements that took months to perfect. The seats are more like thrones, designed to hold the driver securely during high-speed driving, while providing luxury that would make a Rolls-Royce owner jealous. But what really makes the La Voiture Noire special is what it represents. This car is the culmination of over a century of Bugatti's engineering excellence. It's a rolling tribute to the company's founder, Ettore Bugatti, and his vision of creating cars that are both incredibly fast and impossibly beautiful. The customer who bought the La Voiture Noire didn't just purchase a car, they bought a piece of automotive history. This is a vehicle that will be studied and admired for generations, a reminder of what's possible when human creativity and engineering excellence come together without compromise. At $18.9 million, the La Voiture Noire is more than just the most expensive car on our list. It's a statement about the value of true artistry in an increasingly automated world. And there you have it, the 10 most expensive one-off cars ever created. From the Lamborghini Authentica to the incredible Bugatti La Voiture Noire, these vehicles represent the absolute pinnacle of automotive engineering and design. What strikes me most about these cars isn't just their price tags, it's what they represent. In an age of mass production and cost-cutting, these vehicles prove that there's still a place for true craftsmanship and unlimited creativity. Each one tells a story of what's possible when money is no object and imagination is the only limit. These cars will never be replicated, never be mass-produced, and never be available to anyone else. They exist in a category all their own, representing the ultimate expression of automotive artistry. If you enjoyed this journey through the world's most exclusive garage, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. We've got more incredible automotive content coming your way, and let me know in the comments. If you had unlimited money, which of these cars would you choose? I'll see you in the next video.